Hey everyone, and welcome back to Dogemeat Games. Today is Thursday, so we're doing a game review. I am reviewing Phantom Abyss Early Access on Steam. You can get this for $19.99 right now as a early sale until July 8th, and it will be $24.99. So again, this is an early access game. It's not full release, but I did want to give my thoughts on it because I'm kind of excited about it. Now, I really don't get jazzed about a random new game that often. Okay, who are we kidding? I get excited about it a lot. But I don't get genuinely inspired to recommend something so quickly with such a simple concept. So at its core, Phantom Abyss is a risk versus reward masterclass of first-person platforming action. The player character is trapped in a temple, and the only way to get out is to collect relics. How do you do that, you might ask? By risking your life in procedurally generated dungeons with increasing difficulty. You will be greeted by a screen at the beginning of each run telling you if you are the first to venture here or if a poor sap has tried and failed before you, or probably multiple poor saps. They will take the form of a phantom, get it? Basically a time trial ghost that will show you what wins or mistakes other players have made before you. Make sure you look for corpses. Oh, and if you die, you never get to follow that route again. The tempo will change every time you start a new run, so you will not get the same exact route twice. Oh, one more thing. Guardian is going to try to kill you pretty much the entire time. They range from pain in the ass to a constant menace. So the core loop is basically temple run. You start a run, you go until you win or die, but it's just so much more complicated than that. Every run presents a unique challenge that tests your reflexes, your skill, your patience, and willingness to take risks, which makes a truly compelling loop. So starting with simplicity, this takes the age-old method of simple to learn, difficult to master. You have very limited controls of what you need to learn to do, and then you just spend the rest of your time honing those different controls. The level design has just the right level of diversity. You get to learn what different traps do and kind of the timings of those, and get to have really cool runs where you kind of know what the flow of the room is going to be, and then you get new things thrown at you the further you progress into the temple. The rules are simple. You know, traps hurt, falling hurts, everything hurts, but whips are awesome. Use different whips to your advantage if you want to suit your playstyle. If you feel like being a little bit more aggressive, go with that. If not, just use normal whip. Do whatever you want to do. And basically you have to live as long as you think you can live. So if you think that you're going to go into the next floor in a non-advantageous position, and the next floor is past the relic point, just go for the relic. Don't risk it. Just take the relic, take the win, get out of there. Movement feels great and precise, and it encourages gaining expertise. I can definitely see people down the road, if not already, really going through these in a super speed run type montage thing. You're going to see people do wild things with this game for sure. And that's all just on the simple side of this game. But that's not it. There's a whole nother side of this game that deals with complexity. So there are multiple ways to cut the cake, and what I mean by that is every room you go into is going to have a few different solutions on how you can get to the next area successfully without dying or without getting hurt. And it's up to you to decide what you want to do. You can take a risk and go over that giant gap if you think you can make it and hit with your whip and get up there. Go for it. If not, just take the long way around, or something in between. You decide what you want to do. The blessings that you get, they give confidence. And with that comes consequence. I ran into this many times. If I get a double jump, now I'm going to be trying to do things that I wouldn't have tried to do before because I wouldn't have been able to make those jumps. But now that I can, I'm going to be a little bit more risky because I feel like I have an extra oh crap button that I can press in the form of a button I already use. But now I have something else in my tool set that I can hopefully try things a little bit more complicated. The whips also encourage different play styles, but if you die with one, you lose it until someone else in the world completes that particular space and picks up your whip. You get that back once that happens. Until then, that thing is locked. You cannot get it back. You cannot go back to that same space, because remember, once you die in a run, you never get to go back down there again. Not in that same way. So you have to wait for someone else to do it. You can share codes that you get whenever you die. So you can share that with your friends, like, hey, enter the share code and go try to get my thing for me. I'd really appreciate it. So you can use that to your advantage. But if you don't have friends that have the game, then you're kind of just waiting on randos on the internet. Hopefully they'll be the heroes for you and get your thing back. I've lost a couple whips, but I've got them all back so far. So more complexity. There are secrets everywhere. And yes, it's just treasure usually, or like a enchantment monkey, that's what I'll call it. But the wonder of finding something tucked away in a corner has still not gotten old after a few hours in. If it looks like you can fit somewhere, you probably can. And the game really encourages you to kind of explore different parts of a room, even if it seems like a very simple room. Keep your head on a swivel, always look up. And final point on complexity here, the game is as hard as you want it to be. So if you want to quit after the first layer of the temple, do it. Take your relic. No shame in your game. If you want to be a tryhard and keep going down into the deeper layers of the temple, go for it. The game doesn't really push you to do so. After like you get a couple runs in, it says, hey, now you can do the catacombs, but you can ignore it. You can just go to the relic and do that if you want. I would suggest doing that. Get a couple relics under your belt and get a comfortable nature of things. Then go for the longer depths of the tomb. That's my recommendation, but you basically play as hard as you want it to be. So some final thoughts for the game. I do want to mention the sound of the music, number one. Music is killer. I feel like the industry must be listening to sound nerds like me, because the attention to detail is so exquisite in these games lately. Music is pumping when you are running from a guardian right on your heels. All the different sounds are so identifiable. The spikes coming up, the thing, I don't even know what they are. They just drop down from the ceiling and try to kill you. The whip is just satisfying and so nice and tasty. And the little coins dropping into your pockets. It's wonderful. It's fantastic sound design. This is early access, so I have had a few troubles. Not unfamiliar to this. I do a lot of early access games, so I'm pretty used to it. But in this game, it's a little bit different, because between a hard crash, which locked me out forever from a good run, a server outage, which locked me out forever of a good run, and even a random frame rate spike that did end up killing me and locked me, well, you get the idea. So it's not without its flaws. You know, if you crash or anything in this game, you don't get to go back again. You know, sucks to be you. You know, you just kind of have to deal with it and keep moving on. Another point I have is the guardians. I do not like the poison guardian. It's not that I don't think the idea is poor necessarily. I get what they're trying to do, except the bouncing balls of death are far too random, and sometimes it just completely blocks my path, and I have to wait for the poison to dissipate. That's not a terribly fun time for a game about moving forward, right? So I think some balancing could be had there. The other two guardians are awesome and terrifying. Love them. And finally, I'm only about 15 maybe % into the game as far as unlocking stuff, and cannot wait to see the rest of the game. It is a ton of fun to play, and ton of fun to see others succeed or fail at, and I just want to get better at it. Like, I genuinely just want to get better at this. I feel like this is a game that my brother specifically would be an absolute monster at. I'm trying to convince him to really play it and get really good at it, and maybe we'll do some, I don't know. But yeah, so that's it. That's my review of Phantom Abyss. Again, you can get this on Steam Early Access for $19.99 until July 8th. Definitely recommend picking up if any of the gameplay you've been watching seems interesting. If any of the things that I've been talking about seem interesting, this might be right up your alley. Give it a shot. Really cool early access game. If you do like the video, please hit the like. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and tell a friend. Thank you so much for watching today, and take care.